Hi, my name is Susie Manfredi. About 7 months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. It had spread from my breast to 2 lymph nodes in my axilla to my liver. My liver was completely consumed with cancer. I was told by the oncologist that the only reason that they were going to go ahead and go through with chemotherapy for me was because I have small children, and it would help increase my lifespan and help my quality of life for the short time that they were giving me. At this point, I was really numb when I was hearing him speak. I just couldn't believe it. My husband was with me, and my first thought, of course, was just my children. I have 3 small children, and I just didn't know how to process it. As soon as my husband and I walked out of the oncologist's office, my husband looked right at me and he said, "Remember, you're a woman of faith, and we're going to fight this. We're not going to let a doctor dictate what your life is going to be or how long you're going to live, and we're going to fight this." And when he said that, I snapped. I was just like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I believe so much in God, and I believe that good always comes out of horrible situations, and I knew I was going to fight with all the might I had. And it was, of course, still so difficult. And when I got home, I have an older daughter who's 20, and I spoke to her, and she was a former patient of Dr. Jimenez, and she had severe rheumatoid arthritis to the point where she was in a wheelchair and she couldn't function. And after just a few months of treatment, after seeing Dr. Jimenez, she was completely free from all her symptoms, out of her wheelchair, and she's doing wonderful, and she's healthy and strong today. So I went ahead and did make a phone call to Dr. Jimenez's office, and on my first visit, I can just say I was just so incredibly amazed at how nice and compassionate and caring everyone was, the entire staff. And when I spoke to Dr. Jimenez, I told him what the oncologist had told me, and I told him that I have a lot of faith and I'm not going to give up, and I believe in miracles, and I believe that I can be healed. And he stood right with me and he said, I agree with you. I'm going to stand with you, and we're going to do everything we can in our abilities to help you fight this. And so I was so thankful that I had that positiveness with everyone, the entire staff. And so Dr. Jimenez and Tracy, the nutritionist, got together and set up a proper meal plan for me and supplements, and I can just say I'm just so thankful. They helped prepare me for the chemotherapy that I was going to go through, and it was still a difficult journey. I went through my first round of chemo, and it was so hard. I ended up getting sores down my throat and had such a hard time eating. I lost about 15 pounds. And through it all, Dr. Jimenez and Tracy were communicating with me, and when I went to my oncologist after losing all this weight and everything, they told me at the cancer center that I needed to do whatever I could to gain the weight because my body needed to be ready for the next round of chemo. And so they told me, eat whatever you can, whether it's pizzas, milkshakes, hamburgers, spaghetti, just feed my body so that way I can gain that weight. And I knew simply from talking with Dr. Jimenez and Tracy that was the wrong way to go because all these sugars are what feeds the cancer cells. So I spoke with Dr. Jimenez and Tracy, and I let them know exactly what I was told. And they definitely told me, no, that's not the route to go. And they sat with me. They came up with a nutritional regimen for me, so that way I could gain the weight properly, but with the right foods and with the right supplements. And I did. I ended up gaining my 15 pounds of weight back, and went through the next rounds of chemotherapy, and everything was a lot easier going through the process. And I was slowly getting energy back. Going through the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and the 6th rounds of chemotherapy that I went through weren't as difficult, and I stayed strong in my faith. I did a lot of praying, a lot of scripture reading to stand on my faith, and I also followed the plan that Dr. Jimenez and Tracy gave me. And I just want to say that I'm just so thankful that the combination of everything together just made such a difference. I mean, I felt, even though I was going through the chemo, I was getting my energy back. I wasn't having so many symptoms and side effects. And after my 6th round of chemo, I had a CT scan done, and I got my results, and I was told that I'm cancer-free. And all I can say is I'm so thankful, because I know that God puts the right people in your path, and He put the right people in my path to help me get through this. And my nurse, she was jumping up and down. She was so excited, because just after the 6 rounds of chemotherapy, I mean, I was told this is incurable, and I would have it forever till I died. But I can say I'm cancer-free. There are no cancer cells in my body, and I just give God all the honor and glory for what He did. And I'm just so thankful that He put Dr. Jimenez and Tracy and the entire staff, because everyone is so positive and supportive. He put all these people into my path, and it was like a collaboration, a team effort that got me through this. And I'm just so thankful for everything that Dr. Jimenez and Tracy and the staff has done. And I just want to say that do not lose hope. Just stay strong, believe, and do everything that you're instructed to do in the right way. And anything is possible. With God, all things are possible. Thank you.